Hey friends, welcome back to the Content Systems for Growth podcast with me, Michele. If you're a business owner, I want to ask you something. How much time are you spending on social media every week? And how much of your revenue can you actually trace back to that time? I want you to really think about that because a lot of business owners, those numbers don't actually line up. Now, I already know what you might be thinking. You see other business owners showing up everywhere, posting everyday real stories, all of it. And it makes you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're asking your questions, am I doing enough? But here's the truth. More posting doesn't always mean more growth. Sometimes it just means more time spent without a clear return. And at some point you have to ask, is this actually working? Or am I just staying busy? Now, I want to be really clear. Social media is not the problem. It can absolutely be a powerful tool. But when it becomes your only strategy, that's where things start to feel a little heavy because you're putting all your energy into something that you don't actually own. Instagram isn't yours. Facebook isn't yours. And we all see what happens when something changes overnight. The algorithm shifts, your reach drops, and things stop working the way they used to. And you're left trying to figure out what to do next. That's why social media should never be the foundation of your business marketing plan. It can support your marketing, but it should not hold everything up in your business. It should not be your only lead generator. Instead of putting all that effort into content that quickly disappears, what if you started building something that actually lasts? Your website, your blog post, your email list. These are things you own. These are things that continue working for you long after you've hit published. And this is where I think it's helpful to make the distinction because not all platforms work in the same way. Some platforms are very short-lived. You post something and then within a day or two, it's gone. That's where a lot of social media can feel exhausting. But there are other platforms that work very differently. Platforms like YouTube and Pinterest, these are more like search engines, and your content doesn't actually disappear. It keeps working long after you've published it, and it keeps getting found. And that's a very different kind of effort. Now, that doesn't mean you need to go start using all the platforms. That's not the goal here, but it does mean if you're going to spend time creating content, it's worth thinking about. Is this something that's going to last or is it going to be gone tomorrow? This is where I see so many business owners sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. If you have a podcast, if you have written blog posts, if you've taught anything, you already have content. You don't need to create more. You need to start using what you've already created more intentionally. Turn one piece into multiple assets for your business. Your podcast becomes a blog. That blog gets found in search. That content feeds your email, and your social media simply points people back to it. You're not creating more. You're making the content work longer. And that's exactly why I wanted to have Gabe Cox on the podcast last week. Or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, because she didn't just tweak her strategy, she completely stepped away from social media. In episode 162, Gabe shares how she took a 30-day break from social media in January of 2023 and never went back. And here's what's interesting. During that time, her business did not slow down. It actually grew. She focused on things like her podcast, her email list, and collaborations. And over the next 12 months, she grew her email list from 350 people to over 3,500 people without relying on social media. Now, that doesn't mean you have to completely leave social media. That's not the point. The point is there are other ways to grow your business that are often more sustainable. And I think this is really important because many business owners feel like they're stuck on that hamster wheel And social media is part of that, with that posting constantly, trying to keep up, hoping something will finally click. But what if growth didn't have to feel like that? People are searching for answers every single day. They may have changed the means how they're doing it, but they're still searching. And when your content shows up in search, that's not a cold audience. That's someone already looking for what you offer. They're looking for a solution. You don't need thousands of views. You need the right people finding you. Even 10 new people landing on your website, that's 10 new real opportunities. And then there's relationships, podcast interviews, collaborations, speaking opportunities. Getting in front of somebody else's audience builds trust faster than trying to do it all on your own. And when you step back and look at all of this, social media is one piece of your strategy, not the whole thing. And if it's currently taking up most of your time, it's worth asking if it's actually serving you, because your time matters and how you spend it in your business matters. The goal is not to be everywhere. The goal is to build something that lasts. And if this is something that you've been thinking about, if you've been feeling a little burnt out with social media or wondering if there's a better way to grow your business, I want to invite you to something really special. Gabe is hosting the Grow Your Biz Without Social virtual event. It's happening May 4th through May 8th. And it's a full week of conversations and strategies for business owners who are building their businesses in a different way, a more sustainable way, a way that doesn't rely on constantly showing up on social media. And what I love about this event is it's not just about learning. There's also an implementation week at the end of May, which when you learn something, you need to implement it. So you can actually take what you learned and put it into action. You can grab your free ticket through the link that's going to be down below in the show notes. I hope this episode gave you something to think about today. You don't have to keep doing more just to stay visible. There's another way to grow, and it might be simpler than you think. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week.
Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.